Hi Julia, what's here? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at another of the new Sentimentally Yours creative packs, and this time we're looking at Vintage Rust, which you can see from the this sheet here. It's kind of very steampunk and aimed at men's cards, I suppose, but obviously quite a lot of ladies like steampunk too, so it's quite different. It is going to coordinate very well with the cogs and locks and keys die sets, but obviously you can use it standalone. And just like with the other two creative packs, this one has a coordinating 8x8 pack as well of background papers. But let's have a look at the actual creative pack first, and you will find them over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and you'll also find them over at Honeypot Crafts too. So as with all previous creative packs, let's just move it down a wee bit. It's A4, and you get 24 A4 sheets, 2 sheets of each of 12 designs, which means that you can kind of stroke one and use one. So I've just pulled one of each out to show you, and it is 250 GSM, which is a cardstock weight. And in this one there are 409 elements, because there's lots and lots of little embellishments, as you can see in the little front here. Don't throw away the front sheet, because this one is a beautiful topper for you to use. And you can even use these little ones if you've got like little postage stamp type dies. You can use these ones as well, or cut little cogs out of them. So that's the header sheet. As I said, I pulled one sheet out of each for you to look at. I'm always really confused as to which is the front, because this is very thick card anyway. Right, anyway, so you've got lots of clocks, you've got hot air balloons, you've got some flags, cogs, loads of borders on this one. It's easier if I just hold it down, isn't it, rather than move it around. There we go. And then you've got more different shapes here. You've got some little flags that you can put sentiments on. These you can use as like tag tops, or little tabs to pull things out of pockets. Talking to pockets, this will work really well with the slots and pockets from Elizabeth Craft Designs, which you don't think I've got any left actually. It's currently out of stock, but anyway, if you've got that. Some other kind of long tags here. They've all got the kind of steampunk type of you've got cogs on there, you've got airships, you've got like a boat here. I don't know what that is. That's kind of a robot thing. Lots of clocks and compasses. Really fantastic designs from our Phil. And you've got kind of rust and a bit of patina kind of feel to them. So you can see you've got kind of toppers here. You've got more kind of decorative elements and borders. And even more here. You've got some corners. Some little kind of snippy flag things, some stars as well on this one. Love these toppers. This is probably my favourite page, because you've got a fantastic border with some torn papers. You've got 4 good sized toppers. You've got 3 kind of compasses and clocks, and you've got 4 down the bottom as well. Then you've got loads and loads and loads of embellishments on here, lots and lots of decorated cogs, and you've got your locks here as well. Now don't worry too much about cutting this centre bit out here. If you're using a white cardstock for your base of your card, as I'm going to do in the demo I'm going to do for you, you don't need to worry about cutting that out. So don't look at that thinking, oh, I can't cut that out because that looks fiddly. You don't need to bother. Then you've got more airships on here. Those are just beautiful, aren't they? And these are really cool as well. I'm going to be using some of these, and I'm going to be using some of these as well, these like tab flag things. And then you're onto the papers. Absolutely stunning papers. So these are obviously A4 width, so they're 8 1/4 inch in old money, and they're actually 8 1/4 inch in depth as well. So you could use those on a scrapbook page or make yourself an 8x8 card blank straight off. Then you've got DL size down here as well. Go through the papers. They're just fabulous designs. Really, really wonderful. He's done a cracking job at these. Cracking job. Also the metallics from the, you know, the metallic paints, the copper will go very well with this, and you can use some of the gold too. That will look fab. And gesso, of course. Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. So that is your A4 creative pack. There's the header sheet, there it is. And then the 8x8 paper pad, which we'll just grab. There it is. Put that over there. Which coordinates beautifully, and I'm more inclined to use these than I am the others, because it is dreadful cutting them up. So here you've got 24 sheets again, 8x8. These are 190 GSM. So you've got papers to coordinate with the papers in the creative pack. Fabulous, look at that. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I have used some of these for my demo. Love the rusty kind of hingy bits or whatever they are there. So I've used this one. I think I've used this one as well. I've used 3, I think, papers. And then you've got them plain ones, and the plain ones you will be happy to cut up probably. So you've got some blues to go with the patina, and then you've got some rusty colours as well to go with the rust. So that's your coordinating 8x8, because it's really handy to have that, because you will be using, there's so many elements in here, and you might not want to use these necessarily for doing your card making. You might want to use them in scrapbooks or for some construction type projects. So yeah, I would actually get a couple of the background papers with each creative pad, because you don't know how long they'll be around. But those are they. It's actually vintage rust. So let's crack on and do a demo for you. So we're going to make a pop-out card. So to do this, I haven't done one for a while. I used to be on the WS Designs design team donkeys years ago, and went to Stenton, used to create the templates, and I have got some for £1, some of the templates each in the sales section of my website, either that or in the pound shop. I think they're in the pound shop. But anyway, you can do it with dies. So what you need to do is start with 2 A5 card blanks, or 2 pieces of A4 cut in half. So that's one. And then the other one, you want to score, as well as scoring on the half, you want to score on the gatefold as well, so that when it's folded up, you've got a kind of you've got equal parts, or equal as your scoring board will do. And then I've taken the, which one is it? I can never remember which one is it. I've taken this one, which is your Elegance rectangles, and I think I've used that middle one. Yeah, I've used the middle die set and cut out. So that's created my aperture. And when you decorate a pop out, you're best off decorating them separately, and then as the last thing you do, putting them together. It's just a lot easier. So we can look through that. What we're going to do first is, well, first of all, we're going to put the paper on the inside of this, which I've already cut out, and you can see I've got an arrow because I think that's the way it's meant to be. I don't think it really matters, but that's the way I want it to be. And I've trimmed it a wee bit, so it's a little bit shorter, and it's about 6.5 inches wide. You can see when I folded it, it's not even because I used the scoreboard, but it doesn't matter. All you need to do is make sure that when this goes on, that you don't see any white bits. So it does need to be wider than that. So a bit wider than a half A4. So I've done, like I say, it's about 6.5 inches. So to put this in, we just want to put glue. I'm hoping I remember how to do this because it's been a while since I've done these. You just want to put glue down the one side to begin with. And you can use tape if you want to. In the days of yore, before we had really good glue, I used to use tape. But we're going to use glue because Spill's glue is excellent glue. And we're going to just pop it into the fold so it's roughly even top and bottom, and just fold it over. So that's now glued at the bottom. Then we want to put some glue just along this other side. I turned it over. I knew I shouldn't turn the glue over. Top to bottom. Put it upside down, Julia. And then you just fold it over to pick it up again. And now when that's glued, you can see you've got a bit of a gap there. Can you see that gap? You're supposed to have that. If you put it in flat, then the paper will rock up on the inside and look a mess, and you don't want that. So you want it nice and neat and quite taut when you open it out like that. Okay, so that's that. So let's just leave that for a minute. And then I've also, using the die that I cut out with, and also I've got an arrow either side, and also the next size die, I've cut a dinky little frame. Now I've never put a frame around an aperture before, so I'm hoping it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue it first, and then I'll fold it once it's properly glued, so that hopefully it should be okay. So it might not fit exactly. It should do because I did put the arrows on. So I just think that will set it off nicely. So let's get the glue on this. Hopefully it won't seep everywhere because it is a very tiny frame. If I'd have been thinking about it, I probably would have done the next but one, so it'd be a bigger frame, but it is quite delicate. I do quite like it. And you've got that lovely pierced detail all over the frame. I think I will blot it off as well so that we don't have any seepage. And I have put a bit of gesso around the edge as well. But we'll talk about gesso in a moment. Let's just blot that for a sec. That just gets rid of any excess. And we'll start down here, I think. It's trickier to put on than you think, actually. I think it is going to have a little white border. Let's make sure it's got a white border all around, and then it'll look even. Just a narrow little border. Okay, it's on. Right, I'm going to put that underneath here, just so it's proper on before I fold it. And we're going to go about decorating the front here. So let's grab all my bits. And we take the base bit. Okie dokie. So I have cut the largest in the other rectangle set and laid differently in the ornate rectangles out of the copper luster card. Now I do think that these papers would be fab if you use the copper metallic paint with them as well, but on this particular one I've gone gesso. So all I've done, and I might have to just, actually while I'm at it I will do it, I've got some gesso on my mat, and I've got one of these blended sponges, and all I've done is gone around the edge, just like I would if it was a distressing. I'll go all the way around this one just in case it ends up being dark, because I've done it already. I did try picket fence, but picket fence wasn't white enough. You could barely see it, so I wasn't very happy with that. I have got a couple of cogs here, so I'll just go around the edges of these. I'm just going to drag it. I'm not going to bother about going into the indentation bits. Just going to drag it just to ink. Can you just see that? Let's get that one. So you can see it, that's the before. And that's the after. Just because we're going to be doing some layering, and I want to actually see the differences between what we're actually layering up. So I've also cut the next but one die in that rectangle set, which I can't remember the name of because I've just Ornate, out of one of the papers in the 8x8 kit. And what I've done as well at the same time is I've taken the largest but one of the charmed rectangles, and these will be back again in April. I took that and I've gutted that because I've got this die cut out in white, which is going to go underneath this. When I put this back on top, because that's slightly bigger, that's going to hide the fact that I've gutted it. And it does look like the design's continued, just with that little bit of white on there. So I like that, and also it gets you your best money's worth of your papers as well. So just try and remember to do that. So let's stick this down. Another arrow. I'm heavily into arrows at the moment, just so I remember what I'm doing. Frame, not too much glue. Okay. And that's going to go on my copper piece. We're straight. And Phil has, when he's done these papers, he has given them, let me grab one again. He has actually given them like a white gesso edge, can you see, on the design. So if you do that as well, it's just going to look like it's all the same thing. So do we want to raise that up? How much tape have I got? I haven't got very much 1mm. I don't want to make it too heavy. So do you know what? I might not. I think I might just do it flat. Because if you do it too heavy, then it's not going to stand up properly. So we're just going to do this flat. So let's put this on here first, actually. Don't know why there's no arrow on this. It's clear which side which way it's got to go up. Okay, let's have a look. I do struggle to get things straight. Okay, that'll be fine. And we'll pop that on there. You don't need to worry about any kind of drop in this because this is just paper. So so it's going to be negligible. If I had enough foam tape, I would put 1mm foam tape on this, but I don't have enough. At least I'm worried that I would have enough. So let's put this on here. So you should see the continuation of each design. That's straight. I've faffed around with it for ages. Okay. Then I've got a load of decorative elements that I've cut out of the creative pack. And remember, we've got these things here. So I think we're going to have one down here and one up there. I don't know which way we're going to do it. I think we'll have the darker one down here. And we'll have the lighter one up there. Like that. And then we're going to have some tabs. These tabs are going to go down here, like that. I think. And then we're going to tuck these in here. So I'm thinking that we need to do a sentiment on here. Let's do that first, actually. So we're going to go into the words of inspiration sentiments. And as this is like hot air balloons and airships and things, we're going to have enjoy your journey. So I think that fits really well. I'll do a block, I think. I get on well better with a block than a little circle. Do I want black or do I want... I think I'm going to go for Pinecone, which is the dark brown, or one of the dark browns. Oh, let's see if I can get under the camera so I can see where I'm going. I'll hold that just for a few seconds. Perfect. Looks good, doesn't it? Right, so that's going to go on there. So I know I'm going to put this one up there. So let's get this one up there straight away. Just adding the gesso to it, and it sets it off from the layer below. Otherwise they just all merge into one and you can't actually tell what's what. That. So if I just, this is what I'm thinking, I'm just going to make this into like a little pocket. So we're just going to put glue on this side. And we're going to put glue on the bottom. This one. So this is going to go on the bottom here. Rather than me faff around trying to get things in the right position, if I just make it into a pocket, I can just slide them in. Okay. And I'm just going to place these for now. Enjoy your journey. And then, so this is going to go, I'm thinking this is going to go slot in here. So in which case we do want to stick those down, so we do that. Go for foam tape if you want to, but I'm doing it all flat. I would definitely be foam taping some of these. It is easier to move them around on glue though, to be fair. It's different, there's different size of these tab things. Don't stress too much about cutting them out perfectly, because that's what inking's about. And you can also rough up the edges with your scissors as well to disguise it even more. I've not gone for the any die cuts on this. I'm just using elements from the Creative Pack and from the 8x8 paper pad. The only die cuts I've got are the ones that are doing my layers for me, and my aperture, of course. I think those are evenish. Look evenish to me. Right, then this tab thing you could have behind that, and that could be an extra tab to pull it out. You could have it on the top if you wanted, but we're going to do something different with it. So first of all, we're going to pop this. This is going to go in here. So we could even have it coming off the edge a little bit. And you could leave it as a loose tag if you wanted to. We're going to glue it down so that it doesn't, if it gets pulled about, it won't disappear. So obviously this is going to the studio. So, because Phil's on Hobby Maker tomorrow. Not to push it too far, because it'll come out the bottom if the glue's not fully stuck. I like that. That's cool, isn't it? Then we've got this. Now I did try some of the circles. I did try and cut them out with one of the dies from the Graceful Squares, but you can see I've got a white edge on there. Some of the bigger ones you can actually you know, cut them smaller, but yeah, don't do that. So we are going to actually pop this in our pocket as well. That's going to go in there like that. And then I'm thinking I will put this in as well. That's going to go in like that. So we've got a little full pocket. So we're going to put as much of the non-white stuff. It has got gesso around the edges as well in there. I have the white bits down there. You have to hold it up so that the glue doesn't go where it's not supposed to. It's a bit there like that. And then I'm going to pop this in. Obviously you can just change that to say happy birthday if you want to, but I think this sentiment goes really well. And I'm going to just slot that in. Like that. So we've got lots of layers there. Obviously this is, like I say, this is a pocket, so that's not properly fixed. So I'm hoping that that doesn't get knocked about in the studio. So that's where we're at. Lots of layers. I think it looks cool. Imagine that with a bit of the copper paint on it as well. That would look fab. So this is going to go on the front. Do I want to put it on the front yet? Or do I? No, I'm going to put it on the front afterwards, after I've constructed. So we're going to go on the inside now. Which is under here. I've actually remembered where it is. So now we should be able to just fold that, because it's only a little bit of paper, so that's folding nicely. You could, if you wanted to, and you do it before you stick things together, you could actually suspend a piece of cotton from here to here and have like some of the elements kind of floating between the cotton. I don't want to do that because, you know, you're going to have like tape here which is going to interfere with the fold and make it bulkier, so I'm not going to do that. But what we are going to do is decorate a couple of panels to go here, and we're going to add some elements to the middle. So we're going to embellish it with an inch of its life. So we've got all my bits in here. I might not use all of them, but we've got plenty to choose from, and they've all been gessoed around the edges. I've also got a couple of borders from, I've got something on there, looks like a hat. That's what it is. What was I saying? Oh yes, we've got this border here because, and it's from the Charmed Borders 2, which will be back in April, along with the rectangles, squares, circles and ovals. When did I say April? I think I said October then. I don't know where my brain is at. But we've got this here, this one, which is like a chain link. So I thought that would be that would go with the theme. That's what I thought, and I'm hoping it does. So we've got 2 pieces of copper card, which I've just measured and just knocked a bit off. It measures 8 inches by 2, just a fraction over 2.5. And then I've got one of the papers that I've cut down, and we've got a border for each side. I think that one's going on the left and that one's going on the right, just because that's that side. Or you can have them that way up. Did I want it that way? I think I'm having it that way. Oh no, I want them opposite that. So we're going to do it that way. Most of that gesso is on the paper already. It's not from me. So Phil's done that for us. So we're putting this in. Actually, in the past, I think I might have cut the card down to 8 inches rather than the full A5. I don't know. Anyway, it's full A5 this time. There might be some other videos on my YouTube channel that show how to make these. I think I did a star card. I think there is a video on how to do a star card. It might have been a live at some point, but all my Facebook lives are here on YouTube, so you'll be able to find them. I've got over 150 videos with Sentimentally Yours products on them. That's quite a lot. Not as many as Phil, obviously, with his 2 a week. Okay, so this is our panels. It does take quite a lot of effort to kind of get all the bits ready to do these, but they are quite special cards when you've made them. Because basically you're making yourself a card front, which we've just done, and then you're making an entirely another card inside. So it's like making 2 cards. So I'm thinking I'll have one of the borders on the edge here, and one of the borders on the edge here. Did I want it here or did I want it here? See, I like that there, so maybe this is going on the left side and this is going on the right side. So I don't want to cover that up. So if I go on the right side, then I'm thinking I've got some of these long kind of tag things. Then I'm thinking we're going to have one on here, perhaps, and one on here, opposite. Remember, these are opposite in the card. And then I've got loads of, I want to keep that. I want to keep that as well. I've got loads of bits here. Basically, I've got cogs. Or do I want that? We're going to have a couple of cogs. So we might have this clock thing as an extension over here, maybe. I don't want that in the stuff. Faff. I know, we'll have one of those and one of those, and one of those and one of those inside. And then we'll have just some extra cogs, maybe. Just randomly but placed on here. What do you think? Oh, doesn't it? We can't see it all, can we? Pull it down. It's only some embellishment from the inside. I think that'll work. Right. Let's get these on. Where's my bit of? Put it under there. What have I done with them? What, my bit of plastic? I had it earlier because I cleaned it. Oh, that'll do. A bit of, oh, there it is. It's got the gesso on it. That's why I can't find it. Oh dear. Get a grip, girl. Right, let's get some glue on here. This is just one of those indigo blue paint mat things. It'll do me just as well. And we're going to pop that in there. Ah, so that's why I'm thinking now. So if I trimmed the card to 8 inches, then this would fit the full length probably. It's fine. I'm happy with it as it is. I think it goes about there-ish. Okay, and then we'll do the other one. Hopefully there's enough glue left, should be. The trouble with this is I can't see it because it's white. So if you want to ever stamp with paint, then the paint mats are better than using your craft sheet because the paint doesn't pool on them. It's a lot easier. And I believe they're, if I remember rightly, they're a byproduct of the rubber stamp manufacturing. So they would have been waste. So it's a good way to use them. Okay. Right, that's that. I'll clean that off later with my gesso as well. Right. Let's get these on. Crack on with this. Gosh, 38. How can we have to be at 38 minutes already? It is quite involved. They're not, like I say, they're not quick cards to make, but they are very special when you do make them. I keep forgetting my glue needs to be upside down because we're nearing the end. I'm going to put that there like so. I'm just going to do everything at the same time. So I do one of these, one of those, one of these, one of those, just so I know where I'm at. They don't have to be the same. I'm in a, obviously in a bit of a symmetrical mood as far as the inside is concerned. And we'll put a couple of cogs on. I'm just going to put the glue on and then we'll just go for it. Don't forget that if you're not already on Facebook, ask to join the Crafting with Phil Martin and Sentimentally Yours Facebook group. It's a group that you need to answer a question in order to join, so that we know that you're definitely a crafter. There are the live that Phil does on a Thursday is exclusively to that group, and you see sometimes see sneaky peeks in there before anybody else does as well, and it's a lovely group. Right, so we are going to go one there, I think. We are going to go, perhaps, don't know now. See, I'm faffing. I thought I'd faffed enough. Let's go over there. I thought my faffing days were over, but they're not. Turn this one. We'll go here. Oh, we've got to go there because it's glue's down now. Okay, and then these are going to go inside. Let's see whether I've got my gaps right. I haven't. Starts to come together when you put it in, and this white isn't so stark when you've got the white of the actual card blank. It is nice to have a bit of white included, like on the front as well. That's nice to have a little bit of white because it brings the card blank into it. I'm very happy with the front. See, if you don't like the rest of it, you can just do the front. That's the thing with this. You know, you give this to the recipient and they think, oh, that's a nice card, and then they open it up and they go, wow. At least you hope that's what they do. So this is my ode to Wendy Stenton. I'm very thankful for the times that I used to work with her, because loads and loads of great ideas. Not that I use many of them, but the pop out is the one that I use the most. Let's have a look at this. See if that's straight. That's pretty good actually, that one. Looks evenish with what's going on the other side. So we go with that. Then we're going to just decorate it a little bit more. Now remember, I said to you when we were looking through the pad that you don't need to worry about the locks cutting the centre out, because if we pop that on there, it'll look like it's part of it. Let's move that down a bit so you can see. So I was thinking about using one there and one there, but it might be, and then I was thinking about, you know, just embellishing it with an inch of its life and having a couple of these. I don't know which way these are supposed to go up. A couple of these on here, and then we could do the opposite up here maybe. But I don't know if that's just too much. Yeah, that's too much. Right, so what we'll do is we will perhaps do top left, bottom right. So we do that up there perhaps. Get rid of that. Top left, bottom right. That's much better. It's so handy looking at a camera. Yeah, we'll do that. Happy with that. At least I've got some, I think I'm going to be using the gesso quite a lot, so I'm fine with having gessoed around the edge. It's going to be gesso, or it's going to be that lovely copper metallic paint, which I've got to dig out. I know I've got it somewhere. Yes. So let's have that about there. Does that look straight? And then we'll have this. I mean, you can kind of embellish it, like I say, within an inch of its life if you want to. If that's what rocks your boat, go for it. There's certainly enough elements. 409, I think I said. Loads. It's because you've got loads of these little tiny elements that you can play with. So let's have that so that we can see that top bit there. And then we'll have that there. Like that. Okay. So leave some white space. Right, construction. And then we'll put the front on. So we'll start with the back. So you can use tape or you can use glue. We're going to use glue because this is good strong PVA. And to be honest, the glue is a lot easier than using the tape. You used to have to just start just a little bit of tape off, and then you'd only got a little bit of tape that you needed to pull away from the edge. Well done, Julia. It's good to have this glue going there, isn't it? Right. Oh, I'm making it harder for myself, so here we go. So you just want to line up top and bottom and check that it's nice and neat on the back and give it a good old press. And then on the opposite side you want some glue. I'm trying to help stick that upside down and not let go of this because I know it will go all over my backing paper. And then we line up the front bits. Check it's nice and neat on the front, which it is, and give it a good old press. And there's our pop out. So you can imagine, can't you, if you wanted to, like I said before, you could have bits hanging, so you could have cogs hanging from there if you wanted to. I quite like them like that, as is. But like I say, you can do that. Looks fab, doesn't it, already? Let's put the front on. It's worth all the prep. Obviously you can do it with this sort of thing with the other creative packs as well. I may or may not get round to doing that. I'd like to, but I could set myself a challenge and do it. It might be after Phil's TV shows. This is going to go on the front. So I have done this flat. I was going to put it on foam tape. I've done it flat. So it isn't actually that bulky because I've done it flat. It isn't actually that bulky. There's no foam tape being used for this card at all. There we go. There's the front look. I think that looks fab. And then you open it out. You know, this will go in an A5 envelope because it's not, look, it's not deep at all. That's the only depth it is. Not deep. So that'll go in an A5 envelope. So somebody opens it up and says, oh, that's really nice. Who's it from? Wow. You can write, you've put a verse if you want to on the back. So where you would normally do your insert, do it on the back, and you can write your to and from on the back and have your little handmade by as well. And obviously you can just construct that the same way as we've constructed the front. So do it as a separate topper, if you like, on the back. So yeah, there you go. There's a pop-out card using the new vintage rust from Sentimentally Yours. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do remember you can find the products over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk and over at Honeypot Crafts too. Do like and subscribe on my YouTube channel, not that one. That's Facebook. Do like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. I do love to read your comments, and thank you for watching.